Hello everyone, welcome back to another live stream here. Today we are back for Tier 1 of Cone Racing League for the Dutch Grand Prix, round 11 of season 10 here. My name is Stefan, normally, but in the community I'm known by Stevan. Hopefully everyone is good in the chat, to whoever has joined at the moment. We're back for another round here. I'm here to replace Jamie, who's driving currently within the actual lobby with 15 people in here. I was supposed to have a lovely break by now, but that hasn't happened unfortunately. And I'm commentating today, so glad to be here. And qualifying's already started, so let's get back into business straight away with being on board with AJ Wuhan here, who's in the lovely Alfa Romeo, my Alfa Romeo teammate here by the Constructors Championship here. I did score a P3 there for the Alfa Romeo team, so hopefully AJ Wuhan, otherwise called Jacob, can do a lovely performance as well with a 47.8 middle sec time. Let's see what that will bring him if he comes through. When he comes through the final sector, makes a bit of a mistake right there, so I don't think he'll be too satisfied with this lap here. Coming towards the line right now, and that's a 9.5, but that's for Tier 1 pace, not on the right tracks at the moment, but he slots in doing the first professional lap right here. So let's see who else in the lap. Tope is just started lap with a 24.1 first sector here. That seems pretty competitive from what I can remember. A 0.1 is pretty good first sector, but I think people like Seep or Gurman Phil can do a 0.9, as Tope actually makes a bit of a mistake running wide in sector 2, and that ruins his lap, being 8 slower than AJ Wuhan. So Tope is also on pace because of that mistake for this lap, the AlphaTauri driver. Glad to see him back with it driving at least, because he's missed some races here. But that's all good, as Phil started his lap now in the Haas right there, going on board with the Haas driver. Hopefully the audio is alright. If the audio isn't good, then make sure to message me so I can sort it out. But Phil's in a good lap at the moment, going through sector 1 here, the banking. Zandvoort has seen some changes throughout the last couple of years. In F1 2020 they made some changes to the original circuit, which has been there since like 1985. And now Gurman goes faster with 1.8.5, going a second faster than AJ Wuhan, but I can confidently say that AJ Wuhan, Kenny and Tope can all go faster than their representative times at the moment. But Phil is one of the main pace heads here in Cone Racing League, starting at 47.5 with 2/10 faster than AJ Wuhan. AJ Wuhan made the mistake in sector 3, which cost him quite a bit of time here. But let's see what Phil can do. I don't think Phil is on an accurate lap here, so didn't look that many mistakes. Cal goes second fastest with an 8.8 here, 3/10 slower than Gurman here, and Phil goes fastest with an 8.4 here. So decent banker right there, but I can recall he can go a lot faster. Leo Aris, the Italian driver in the Red Bull, has gone third fastest there with a 1.8.4, as we can quickly joined by Glowstick, now who's going to be my co-commentator here. So welcome in, Glowstick. Glad to see you in the party here. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing alright. I'm sorry for being late.
I mean, we were late commentators, so can't blame me for that, to be honest. But let's get into it straight away. Seep is going fast in the Ferrari with a 1.8.2. Seems very competitive around this track here. I remember doing that he did W or LD qualifying and posted a pretty good lap time right there, and shows that pace is still there. So hopefully he can pick up a win anytime soon, as more than half the grid has now set a lap time here. Most not really accurate here, as the 7 down to 9 can definitely improve. But Pink Eye is only a couple of tenths behind Kyle here. And now a 10th behind Bumpy, was slotted into 5th place in the Williams here. 6 tenths of the pace here, but 5th place, I don't think he'd be too dissatisfied with that for the moment. What can his teammate do, who's also on a lap currently? See, he's a quick driver as well, Nathan. Really good around Zandvoort, from what I can remember. Doing a 47.7 middle sector now as well. Looks pretty entirely so far in the middle, on the final sector. Going to the R11 bocht, I'm pretty sure it's called, and Nathan goes second fastest, a bit less than a tenth behind Seep's time, but sorted himself into second place here. So really some good times already being posted, but I can for sure confidently say that more people will set fast times here as people are now gonna prepare for the second round. So anyway, Glowstick, of course, we raced against each other in Tier 3 on Monday, where you fairly deserved the win there. What do you think about the Zandvoort circuit and your experience around the track?
Oh, I mean, I love this track. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's very difficult in some parts though, and it's very easy to make mistakes, especially if you're running a bit lower wings on the rear. But I mean, you just need to be careful, and you need to find a rhythm where you don't make mistakes, and because it's quite easy to get warnings as well. So you just need to get no penalties, which fortunately I had no warnings in my race. Um, but yeah, we both shared a podium.
Yeah,
So that's good.
I picked up 3 warnings. One warning I picked up because of the pit lane warning. I don't know why that's in the game, but hey ho, one of the many things that shouldn't be in the game. But one of what I think like about this track is you get punished for making a mistake. If you go a little bit too wide, for example in sector 2, where the Red Bull of Leo Aris is now going through nearly. You can see on the stream there, if you run over this curb coming up now, then you're gonna run wide, lose a lot of grip and time. So that's what I like about Zandvoort. A mistake really gets punished, apart from like most street tracks where if you make a mistake you can just carry on still without losing that much time. So Zandvoort's a really challenging track. It's a fast flowing track, and that really challenges the driver. It does cost a lot of fuel, especially for myself who loves to rev the engine quite a bit. So I don't think even 3 laps was enough for me personally, but for these drivers you probably need about 2.8 to 2.9 laps of fuel to make it safely through the end without safety cars. Of course, in Tier 3 we had some safety cars. We had one safety car which really changed the outcome of the race, which led to Glowstick's amazing masterclass of a defensive drive. Uh, so yeah, that was a really good performance there. But anyway, let's focus now on Tier 1 as more times are coming in now with Siliu saying at 8.52, 7,000 behind Gurman, who made a mistake in Sector 2, the other Ferrari driver. Taupe going into 7th place now with an 8.6 here, so pretty competitive times about. It seems to be very uh, clear now from the top 3. We're a bit separated from the rest of the pack.
Yeah, so I'm going on board with AJ, who looked like he lost a little bit of time in the second sector. I think he improved there. He improves by 5 times though. Goes up, stays in 11th even. 9.0. Let's see. Who else? Kahilo, is he finished or is he on a lap?
He just finished the lap, and I can remember Leo Aris is starting. He was improving by a bit of a tenth, which will probably promote him nearby Nathan if he can hook up this final sector. Oh, he hit the inside curb there, so lost a bit of speed there. So I think he lost all of his time there. He gained in the first and middle sector, and yes, he goes into the pits. So that he nearly hit Alfa Romeo there, but all good. Yeah, just had a poor final sector there. Just hit the inside curb there. Before entering the final turn, so that lost him all of his time. But the potential's there to get ahead of Phil, who is improving by a tenth and a half, which should get him nearby Siep, doing a way better line there than Leo Aris there. Coming across the line now, what can Phil do in the Haas? Doing a 7, 8, 8.1 there, and it beats Siep's time by 80 thousandths here. So Siep's got a challenge here by the name of Phil. Phil has been really on it in the last couple of rounds in Cone Racing League, and apart from a disqualification in Singapore, he has been the man to beat here. Kyle goes in 5th place right here, just behind Leo Aris by 2,000 here, but that's a good time there, 8.4, not a bad time at all here. Of course, qualifying is one thing, but the race is going to be completely different here with probably safety cars. We aren't aware with any rain or something, but it's probably going to be a chaotic Grand Prix for all the drivers here. So, what are your race predictions for the moment then, Glowstick?
Race predictions? Like, I'm expecting at least like one safety car, as Pink Eye goes up to fourth there in the Aston Martin. Good lap from him there, 8.4. But I'm expecting at least a safety car and maybe and I'm expecting podium setter. So like someone like maybe above or just below the top 10, maybe getting a podium.
That could very much be the case. At the moment, that's AJ Wuhan, Kenny, Jamie, Wouter, and Bush Evans. Bush Evans doesn't have the greatest season at the moment, but you never know. On board with Wouter currently, who's currently on his lap, did a 47.6, so that's probably going to be around Leo Aris, Kyle, and German here. So we can Wouter always want to look out for, and he does a 8.5 around the time of German, Kalskar and Leo Aris being behind him by 30 thousandths. So P4 until P9 is separated by 30 thousandths here, so incredibly close times right there from all the drivers here. So that shows how much the league is actually like increased in skill, because Wouter is one of the top guys from last season, for example, and he's now all the way down in P9. So that's a bit of a surprise here, to be honest. Maybe other guys improving and him not really settling into the game as much as others midway through this game cycle here. So yeah, that's interesting to see here. As most drivers actually now going into the pits here to prepare for their final runs. Are there going to be drivers that are going to save a set of tires here? I think someone like Phil can maybe just save a set of tires. Maybe not get pole position here, but have a fresh set of soft tires. We did see in Tier 3 that drivers used the medium soft strategy here. Might have not worked initially because of course of the safety cars, but the tires can stretch it till the end of the race here. But I think the better strategy is going to be the medium hard strategy here. Not just saying it because it worked a bit for me, but I think generally because of the overheating of the tires, the medium hard strategy is going to be better here.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but as you're saying, it's really close here. But it was also close in Tier 3 if you remember, because P4, I was in B4 to like P8 were separated by, I think, I think it was like 500s or something, or maybe a tenth. I remember, but in that race, Indigo was commentating over us. So as he's on his lap now, not setting a representative time, but he's got plenty of time to find somewhere. As he goes 10 seconds up in the second sector.
So for the late other days, improving by 10 seconds, but of course he's done a 120.6 here, so not an accurate time right there. So he's probably going to be around AJ Wuhan's time here. Of course, I've known Jamie for quite a while. I've raced against him around the Zandvoort circuit. I've actually done an 8.5 here, just ahead of his teammate and just behind Wouter here. I've known Jamie for quite a while here. We raced against each other for in F1 2020 in KRL, so that's been yeah, it's been a really long while ago. We actually raced against each other on this exact circuit for the first time, so probably a bit of a tribute here for me and Jamie. So Jamie, if you're watching this back, hopefully you can remember KRL, where we're fighting against the top drivers here. So and from that moment I've really dropped down into tier 3 standards here because other guys just got faster. Anyway, moving on from that, we're on board with the Williams of Boompi right now, who's in P12 currently on 8.8, but certainly can improve on his time there in the Williams. Hopefully he can be nearby his teammate of Naven here. He is improved by 29 thousandths here. Sector 1 of course is not the longest here, so most time will be found in the middle sector, which is currently going over that curb, but surviving that curb lovely there. So Boompi is on a really good it's on a decent lap run there, but running a bit wide to be honest. Getting a bit of marbles on there, so a bit of understeer there for him. But he is a bit of a tenth off about from Wouter's time and going into the gravel here and spinning out here. So a typical Boompi bottle right here, to be honest. Not surprised there at all. I thought he was gonna set a decent lap here, but he has bottled it. Typical Williams driver, if I have to say completely there. So we quickly switch to someone else now, like German, who's improving by a bit of a tenth. So that tenth will get him up to P4, but he's losing the car there, and he spun off. The Ferrari has spun off there, so he's not gonna improve on his time right there, running over that deadly curb there of the Zandvoort circuit there. So that's gonna unsettle, give him P7 maximum right there. So we quickly switch on board to Siliu, who's in the Alfa Romeo here in P8, and let's see how much he is improving by. He's improving by a tenth and a half, which should getting around Nathan here. So it's gonna be very tight here. Can he nail the final sector right there? Everyone's on their final runs now, apart from German, who spun in the Ferrari here. Siliu going towards the line right there. 6, 7, 8.3 and goes into P4 there, 60 thousandths behind Nathan there. As actually Wouter, I was talking about him not maybe having the best pace, but he goes into second place right there for the Red Bull. Nearly said the Ferrari there, but it's the Red Bull team. So just ahead of Sieb, who's improved by a tenth and a half into sector 1 alone. So it looks like Sieb is on a really good lap there, going all the way over that curve right there. So Sieb is really maximizing this track now as AJ100 is retired. So he's going to be P13 maximum there, and Sieb is improved by a 2/10 here. Can we see a 7.9 here by the Ferrari driver? This would be an amazing lap. The Dutch driver here, we can speak a bit of French there, so Max Verstappen vibes are there, running over the curb, very lovely there. What can Sieb do towards the line now, using the DRS, and he's gonna get a 7 or an 8.1. Lost a bit of time in the final sector, but just ahead of Phil, who has not improved on the lap right there. Kenny's improved to 8.4 here. Leo Ari's just improved by a little bit, but 8.3 there. But it is gonna be Sieb. That's called pole position here, as Pinka hasn't improved there. So it is IRT Sieb on pole with an 8.119. Just ahead of the Haas of Phil and the Red Bull of Sweetcount. But my god, that was an exciting qualifying there with a lot of close times there and some good times being posted here. So yeah, let me give us your thoughts about that qualifying, Glowstick.
Yeah, it was really good. Really, I mean, I wasn't here for all of it, but from the bit I was here, it's fun to watch and really exciting. But who was it that I was on board with? Was it? Who was the one that was it? Gernman that spun, hitting the curb too much and spun into the gravel. Just proving my point there of saying it's difficult to and it's very easy to spin.
Yeah, he has unfortunately lost the car there, Ferrari. It runs a little bit wide, and the curb is just so deadly on this game, but also just in real life. I've been at the Zandvoort circuit, but yeah, that curb is just a bit deadly. Logan Sargent crashed out there this year, I'm pretty sure it was, in the Williams, so that part of the circuit is just very difficult if you just run a bit too wide there. But of course, in qualifying, you're gonna take a bit more risk rather than in the race. In the race, you're gonna be a bit more settled down, not push as much to gain as much time as possible, as you want to be more consistent, of course. But it's gonna be an exciting race here with many of the drivers. Many of the drivers gonna be looking forward to driving around this track, and it's gonna be a bit of a DRS train, like we predicted in.
Why am I in a car?
Are you in the car because you joined late? So Glowstick, make sure to just retire in the pits so we don't see an unnecessary safety car. So yeah, if we can
I'll take you guys for a lap.
let me quickly how not to drive the Zandvoort circuit with a Tier 3 driver. So it's gonna be all good. So just because you joined late, you're gonna be in the car. So make sure to retire in the pits. Yeah, we can see lovely.
Me, right?
We can see lovely clear skies here. Yeah, here. So it's gonna be an exciting race here. It's gonna be as usual one stop probably. And hopefully drivers can keep it clean there. And also you have one light. Oh no, formation lap. What? I don't know the rules. My bad there. With of course that formation lap here. So Seep starting off the formation lap here on the hard tires here. Interesting strategy right there. Let me see what the glow stick has gone on. He's gone for the soft tires. It's gonna be
I don't know
interesting
why
to
I did
see
the car.
how drivers gonna play this. I think drivers that if you can just survive the first couple laps on the hard tires, then you for sure got a chance to win the Grand Prix. Phil's took a bit of a gamble here. He's gone for a set of medium, so he's gonna be trying to pull away from the start of at the start straight away to credit up to Seep. But with the DRS being a bit OP here, I don't think starting on the mediums is a good call uh, unless you can just pull away even the first two laps. Same for Pink Guy, he's gone for a bit of a risk, trying to make up more position at the start here, but most of the cars have gone for the hard tires here. Topaz also gone for the mediums, he's going to be trying to make up some positions here in the lovely avatar, I must add. Now changing into Visa app Red Bull Racing, or whatever it's called. I'm just gonna call it Toro Rosso, to be honest, for the upcoming season. And
Do
then
you know what?
yeah, go on.
I'm quite happy. At least they put me in the Mercedes, the game.
Yeah, maybe go on, do a celebration spin for tier 3.
Celebration spin.
Go on, celebration in front of the Dutch fans. There you go. Oh yeah, oh that's lovely. That's just wonderful. Oh yeah,
Tier 3 win.
that was lovely footage. I should have removed spectator menu for you, but yeah, hopefully whoever's editing potentially this, then hey, make sure to use that footage.
Yes.
Anyway, let's focus on the start of the Grand Prix now, as Glowstick is gonna line up and retire in the pits after lap 1, but that's all good as we have three cars now being disqualified. Pink Eye, Jamie and Bosch Evans here, but that's all good here as we've got 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. It's lights out and away we go. It seems to be a good start from Seep there, but even a better start for Phil, who's straight away going into the lead here, into turn 1 here, just ahead of the Ferrari drive here. No contact for the moment here, so all drivers have kept it clean. Here, and it's Phil into the lead, just ahead of Seep, Wouter, Nathan, Siliu and Leo Aris here, who's lost 1 position, now 2 positions here, as he's in the battle with the Aston Martin of Pinkai here, going side by side, going towards Schijfvlak here. So it's pretty exciting corners here, and Pink Guy's got the position here in the Aston Martin. So as we've got one car off, it's got Scarlett. The McLaren
Yeah,
has gone off here, and he spun out as well. Doesn't hit the wall. He doesn't, so he doesn't lose part of his wing here. He's now behind the tier 3 driver, so he should be a bit of ashamed of himself. But it's Phil in the lead in the Haas here.
Haas sandwich.
Yeah, it's in the Haas sandwich now. Here, but it's Phil in the lead. But keep keeping him honest about there. If he can stick within the DRS, then he certainly has a good chance to win here. But of course, with Wouter, Nathan, and Siliu behind him, it's always going to be difficult task. And never count out Phil here. Actually, Pink Eye has got a really good run here on Siliu, so he's going to overtake the Alfa Romeo here, moving up 2 positions here, actually 3 positions, because he was behind Kenny on the start here, and he's up to P5 now. So good start there from all the medium runners who've all gained that position, apart from Bosch Evans here. So yeah, it's some sort of difference here as Glowstick has retired, like we predicted. He's now going to join the commentary box for a quick switch up. Here, but the timing seems a bit glitched at the moment. Let me just quickly get it correct. No, we can't. Okay, great. We have to stick with this then. That's all good. But Phil's in the lead at the moment, but Seep managed to keep track of him. Used a bit of ERS there, 44%. Of course, this is one of the tracks that it's a bit difficult for ERS here. So if you can just save in the first stint, then you can just have so much advantage afterwards here. Like Wouter's doing currently, who's got 80% ERS. So yeah, the other drivers behind are saving it quite nicely here. As you can see, it's a one strategy here, recommended by AWS here. One of the many things I can actually put right here. That is the one stop around Zandvoort. So yeah, clean start right there. What did you see of that start then, Glowstick?
I mean, it was definitely interesting from the back. I mean, nothing really happened apart from Kyle's Garrett spinning, but yeah, very interesting as it's pretty close, and Phil overtook Seeb, which I just noticed.
Yeah, Phil has jumped Seep from the start here. Seep got pole position here, but the medium tire is making a huge difference right there. But both of these drivers, the Haas and the Ferrari, have jumped Sweet Crown um, to 2 seconds gap already, and Street seems to be struggling a bit. Of course, he's saving ERS compared to Seep and Phil were pretty much using all of it already. So Sweetcar may be dropping off a bit, but we'll see him later on in the race once again. But he's currently got Nathan right behind him, 2 tenths only. But Nathan is such a good driver that he can just follow him closely, and he's got 90% ERS as well. So they might be pulling away now, but I think the train will be back soon together here. But as we're starting lap 4 right now with Phil still in the lead and Seep has kept him honest here. So Seep can now save ERS as Nathan has gone up to third place. Not really surprised they're using quite a bit of his ERS just to get past him. So hopefully he can now start closing up the gap to Seep now. He's already doing that. The gap going down to what 1.9 seconds here. So see, Nathan's getting a move on here, trying to get back in the DRS of the cars ahead now. So Wouter playing the long game here, to be honest. He's got 60% DRS right there, and Pink Eye is also following closely, and Ciliu's got good pace as well. So the medium tires, their effect has pretty much run out already from what it was. The pace is quite similar here. As Nathan's got good pace, he's already close up full 10s to the cars ahead here. So if Nathan can get a move going, then he's gonna be there within 2 to 3 laps here. So that's not really what Seep and Phil want. Of course, they want to pull away in the DRS here. But Nathan's showing some really good pace in the Williams so far. Way better than his teammate already. So yeah, let's see how that. As we now start lap 5 here. The grid has kept it clean for the moment here. It's only one spin there with Carl Scarrett in the McLaren spinning out there. As Jamie has actually moved off the P10 out, getting past Tope here. His teammate not really using the effect of the hard tire, of the medium tires to full effect here. He saved a bit of ERS there, but not really used the tire effect here. Maybe starting a bit on pace here. So hopefully then Jamie can get a move going on those hard tires here. But yeah, the grid is just settling down into the race right now. So yeah.
Yeah, just settling down, trying to find the groove, maybe still for some. Trying to find the rhythm of the track. As, yeah, it's still pretty close at the front, but Phil, this is not what Phil would have wanted. He would have wanted to try and pull away from Sheep. Sheep keeping Phil honest here by sticking close to him, but Phil would have wanted to pull away a little bit from the Ferrari.
Yeah, that was his main goal there, but the gap is 8 tenths here, but Nathan's got really good pace and dragging Wouter, Pink Eye, Siliu and Leo Aris just all the entire DRS train along here. As actually Wouter's going around the outside of the Williams here, but we're even squeezing him out a bit there, going side by side into turn 2 right now, but Wouter with a lovely move there down the outside there and has got up to P3 once again here. Maybe not the move I would have gone for. Of course, I'm not the one really to speak with the race ban this season, but I would personally waited because Nathan was closing up all the way to the leaders now, and that advantage is all the way gone again. So I bet Seep and Phil must be laughing at that at the moment here. And by the way, Jeff, I hope you spin out in your next race because apparently he thinks I'm gonna bottle it in the commentary box. So Jeff, I hope you spin out in your race, next race.
Fair enough.
It's gotta be done. Gotta be done. Anyway, let's focus on the race again. As the gap is gone up to 2 seconds again between the Red Bull and the Ferrari and the Haas here. So not really well managed there by Wouter. Would have expected better than him. As Nathan's getting past him again. Nathan lost all of his ERS. He tried to use to catch up to the cars ahead now. So that's not really best play there, but let's see what will happen in the rest of the race. here. So I think the cars behind, like Siliu, Leo Aris and Kenny, are in a really comfortable position here with quite a lot of ERS. Not as much as German here, who's got 100% here, but they're just going to be managing the tires here, trying to catch up to the cars ahead, and hopefully the top two start battling and they can go for an undercut here. In the top 10 we have got a couple of teammates in there. So we've got the Ferraris in 2nd and 9th. We've got the Red Bulls in 4th and 7th. Yeah, only two pairs of teammates here. The rest are all split up here. Well, here the Williams cars are split up here. The Haas is down in. We've got one in 1st and 14th. So some cars are gonna have to stick it out longer, especially the Red Bulls were probably in the more difficult situations between those, as all has to stick out one lap longer initially, because yeah, they're both on the hard tires and in the Red Bull, so it's gonna be interesting to see here, as Nathan is starting to slowly close out that gap again, mentioning a bit of ERS here, so I don't think Wouter's pace was anything spectacular here, shortening a bit of pace there. As we've got yellow flags here, we've got Bush Evans spinning out there. He's already got fuel issues, interestingly.
And lost
you can
one
see
of his end plates.
you can see bottom left here. He's lost a bit of end plate as well, like I think you mentioned too. So I don't think Bush Evans will be happy with that one. He's gonna be quite far off. I don't think he remembered the fuel strategy here, like everyone else has here. So another tough race for Bush Evans here, who has had a very difficult season in the Haas. His teammate is all the way up in the front here, and he's just struggling down there in 15th here. So hopefully he will have a better season for. Hopefully for better season 11 here. As you got Sieb now taking the lead here in the Ferrari. The Ferrari is taking the lead right there of the Haas. And that allows Nathan to close up a bit because they started battling here, the Haas and the Ferrari. So the gap has already gone down to 1.4. Nathan, without using that much ERS, has got some strong pace here and is closing that gap now to 1.3 seconds. So Nathan definitely in the shout to win this race here and dragging the cars behind him along once again here. So yeah, the race is really spicing up it, just like in Tier 3 where we had like maybe like 6 cars potentially being able to win the race.
Yeah, it's very close all round for a Tier 3 to be fair. But Nathan is looking at Phil and C battling and is looking with a mischievous grin, wanting to take the lead for himself, but he might have to try and close in still, but he's only a second within now. Has he got the DRS? He hasn't. He's just missed out there, but still he'll be really looking to be optimistic and overtake the two at the front.
For sure, there. Indeed. As Toby wanted to say, there you go. I've got my saying back again. As Nathan is nearly back in the 1 second window, actually in the 1 second window already. So Nathan's really clawed out that gap really well there. Is now within the 1 second window of the car's head. That means he's got DRS right there to catch up from. And that means the top 10 are all in the DRS window. If Nathan can close up that 2/10 gap here, that's going to be an exciting year. So, because we can see one drive, for example, German go for an undercut here on lap 15 or 16, and then jump all the way up to the front again. So that's going to be interesting to see. Here, also we've got a moment there. Mistake from Nathan there, and he's now down to 4th place again, which leads Wouter now up to 3rd place again. Is Wouter now going to show some good pace here? As actually Pinka is going around the outside of the Williams now, so Nathan's lost 2 positions on the lap by nearly being in the 1 second window and now losing that advantage again. So
I think his tires are just overheating. He's pushed too hard, I think.
As he's nearly pushed Silly on the grass here, which leads now to Leo Harry's now on the inside there, but doesn't have the traction to beat the Alfa Romeo right there. So that's not really a good plan there from Nathan. He's just gonna set it down in this race. As actually, Leo Aris lost the back end there and has now dropped to P10 here. Has the Red Bull here, so quite a few drivers now making mistakes. The overheating starting to appear now, and it's going to be very difficult for many of the drivers. Maybe most of the drivers are just pushing a bit too hard, like you just mentioned, Glowstick.
Yeah. As I'm looking at Seep's helmet, I'm thinking Pepsi, but I want a can of Pepsi now. As we see Phil on the back, and Bosch Evans in the wall again, lost all of his front wing, and it's just going bad from worse for Bosch Evans.
Yeah, he's going into the pits right there. Probably going to retire the car here because he's lost his front wing and it's going to be lapped now. And that's going to be a second retirement, I presume, if he does do it. As Phil has retaken the lead. Now I've lost his teammate right there. But he's retaking the lead and they're creating a gap to the cars behind who are actually in a battle right now. The Aston Martin now potentially up to third place now. The medium showing stronger pace still despite it being 12 laps. Being at the start of lap 12 here, but Sweet Crown defending it quite well, but losing all that advantage Nathan gained once again here, so not really well, quite a good race pace there from Wouter here, but he's still in P3, holding up the cars behind here, so let's see what will happen in the rest of the race now, and yeah, Leo Aris lost DRS to the cars behind, so he's making quite a few mistakes as well. Hopefully now he can gain to the cars ahead, who are all just so close to each other now. And just sums up, one mistake and you're completely gone out of your rhythm and losing quite a lot of time here. So drivers are gonna have a difficult time for the rest of the race if they are trying to push too hard here.
Yep, as now we see Sahilu and Pink Eye overtaking Sweet Crown now, and Sahilu almost making a move on Nathan. I think decides better off it and decides to back out. As Taupe is now overtaking Bunpei towards the back, fighting for an extra points position. But yeah, very good racing and very close as well.
Yeah, good start there from Pink Eye. We started all the way down in P8 and is now all the way crawled up to P3 now. So he has a good start. But what can he do now on the older medium tires now? As we see someone making a mistake potentially here.
Yeah, Pink Eye just clipped the grass on the outside and almost been in it, but saves it.
Very close there for the Aston Martin driver. Losing a bit of time to Seep and Phil, who are quite comfortable just pulling away from the cars behind here. Nathan possibly kicking himself because he was 1.1 seconds behind Seep there. And Seep, interestingly, has lost DRS, so I think he made a mistake. He's got no ERS here, so Phil has got some strong pace right now, but Seep has got DRS here, so I think he just made a mistake going into the Arie Luijendijk bocht here. So Seep is still good there in DRS and still trying to catch up to Phil now, but Phil has got the box early and will go for that undercut here. We'll see Pink Eye go for the undercut here, potentially be in the mix with Seep and Phil. Phil, they do have a pace advantage here compared to the other drivers. I think the only one that got relatively nearby was Nathan, but he seems to be making quite a few mistakes on this time here. So let's see how this race is gonna pan out here as we're nearing the pit stop windows now.
Yep, and again, people using all the track width, because I just saw Wouter clip the gravel going into turn 1. Goes a little bit deep, but manages to keep the car on track. And he's clipped the gravel again as I'm talking about him. He's clipped it again. This gives Pink Eye an opportunity to try and attack him going down the main straight here. He's already on the back of him. Doesn't even really need to use ERS. Overtake him into P3 he goes, possibly. Yep, P3 for Pink Eye there.
Lovely overtake there, but all the time they're battling, they're going to lose to the cars ahead now, so that's very difficult for them. The drivers are really on the limit right there and pushing it out, I think, over the limit too much right there, as by just clipping the grass here. I'm very impressed with the driving despite making their mistakes because they're so close. They're literally on the white line as we saw the Aston Martin literally being on the white line. I cannot envision doing that myself because I just go on the grass there and make quite a few mistakes. But that just separates the tier 3 drivers to the tier 1 drivers here. They can just find the limit so badly there. I think in qualifying we can maybe compete against these potentially, but in the race they may just make such a difference right there. And you can clearly see that by the driving there. Um, and some really impressive overtakes right there. So let's see how this race is gonna pan out. Leo is starting to catch up a little bit again to the cars ahead of him. He was 2.3 seconds behind Jamie here, but is closing that gap to 1.8 seconds now and extending the gap to Bumpy right now, who's in a battle with Tobe right there in P12 and P11 here, just DRS training each other now, hoping for a safeguard to see a miracle now. As we see Bosch Evans, who didn't retire, going for another spin here. So yeah, it's just a
I
very
think.
difficult race,
Oh,
and yeah, just carrying on. To be fair, so he's doing a good job there, but yeah, just. A lap down won't help his cause at all, and hopefully he can short shift it till the end as he's already got fuel issues on lap 16.
yeah, just really unfortunate for Bosch Evans, but these are some things on racing where you don't really understand the fuel, because it is very difficult to predict, because you think, uh, I mean, I was low on fuel until the safety car came out in tier 3. I was like, when I pit, I was on 0.5 laps of fuel. So it would have been very close to make it to the end. As Sheep looking for a move on Phil decides to back out, and Sweet Crown goes up into P3 now.
Very impressive take there from Wouter there right there. So good stuff there as Evans has spun again. Hopefully he won't cause a safety car here. So the race doesn't become a boring or one stop there. So
Apologies about that.
oh, that's all good there. But so just focusing on the battle right there. As Pink Guy is just following in behind. Hopefully going to save a bit of ARS there as expected. Bosch Evans has retired into the pits, becoming the second retirement. Officially, should have been the first retirement since you're not classified in Tier 1. You can say you've raced in Tier 1 now, at least glow stick, so
Yeah.
many cannot say that here. But yeah, the race is just settling down right now, so we're waiting for the first cars to make a pit stop here. I think we're gonna see Seep going for that undercut here. He has saved a bit of ERS right there, and he's going for the lead as he's using a bit of ERS right there, and he's regained the lead right there, in front of the home crowd right there. Many Dutch drivers there, and there we go. We've got the first driver making a pit stop here. It's Jamie. The undercut is a bit overpowered here, even though it's not as OP as, for example, a Singapore or a Bahrain, but it certainly will make a huge difference here, as many of the drivers have stayed out for quite a while. So let's see where he will join. If he does have a good outlap there, he's gonna be probably around P4, P5. But he's gonna do one more lap longer here, and the fresh tires just make a huge difference here for everyone here. So we're just gonna follow Jamie's progress very carefully here, as most of the drivers now in the middle sector here. Trying to pull away now and focusing potentially on that gap. Jamie is now closing up to those guys in the train, so let's see how this is gonna play out.
Yeah, as you say, undercut can be powerful around here. Just need to pit on the right lap and hope your tyres don't die towards the end. But I think Jamie's made a very good strategy call here in pitting early and going for the mediums, because the mediums can make it quite a while without falling off the cliff and getting punctures. But yeah, should be a good move. And Leo Aries now in the pit lane, and AJ Woonhan gets a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Very unlucky for AJ there.
Yeah, that's good. Definitely not gonna help his cause there. Leo Adis, let's see where he rejoined. I think the gap was about 2.8 seconds. Uh, Behind Jamie here, and his now that gap is already gone up to 5.4 seconds here. So the undercut's really worked out there for Jamie. He was really pushing along now, trying to close up that gap to the car's head, and he's got a 2-lap undercut here. He's gonna have to manage those tires a bit more carefully now. And are we gonna see maybe some drivers on the soft tires now? Because we're getting quite a long way into the stint here. Of course, the drivers that are still out there are just DRS training each other now ahead to get as much time as possible here. And they're still staying out, but the Red Bull is actually pitting, and we've got more cars going into the pits now. Wouter, Nathan, Siliu is all boxed now, so the Red Bull, the Williams, and the Alfa Romeo have decided to pull the plug right there for the undercut, responding to Jamie's undercut right there. Let's see where he will rejoin. As actually the car is on the main straight, and he's going to be very close with the Red Bull right there. And he has jumped all of them. So Jamie is in the current P3 position here, and he's gonna gain more time now to Phil and Seabeer. So Jamie could be in a professional lead right there if Phil and Seep stay out for one more lap here. So Jamie's undercut has definitely worked out tremendously here.
Yeah, as I said, very good strategy call from Jamie. Yeah, Wouter, Nathan and Sahilu will be boxing to try and undercut the guys in head now, and trying to undercut Phil and Seeb, who are currently in a league of their own, 3 seconds ahead of Pink Eye in the Aston Martin. But don't count out Kenny. He looks like he's going to be good. He's coming in now. He's coming into the pits now.
They're responding to the undercut there of Nathan, Wouter and Siliu. And of course Jamie here, but Jamie has already lost that advantage he had early on. But both cars going for a set of, or one for the hard and one for the medium. I would have expected Pink Eye to go for a set of soft tires personally, having stayed out for that long here. So yeah, let's see how he will play that. But the hard tire is a very good tire to be on, just behind Siliu there. But interestingly enough, they're still in the DRS here. But then again, we still have Phil and Seep staying out right there, so it's gonna be very close there. Once those cars pit, they're using a bit of ERS now to create as much of a gap as possible, but this will be very close on the exit there. All the cars here now have fresh tires and are starting to gain to the Haas and the Ferrari here. But then afterwards, the Ferrari and the Haas will have such an advantage. So let's see how this will play out. Are they gonna box now? They still, very late call. I think they would have. I was nearly about to say they're gonna stay out there, but both now try to react to the strategy and both putting on the soft tire. I see the Ferrari with the soft tires. They are the Haas crew gonna have a good pit stop there for the German driver there, and looks like a good stop there with Seep just behind them. But where will Jamie be? And Wouter, who's also now use DRS, both rolling off the pits now, and it's going to be Wouter just ahead of Phil right there, gaining the lead, and Jamie up to second place professionally, as German still has to make a pit stop here. But that's interesting to see here, and Seeb has already lost ground to Phil now. He's going for a set of mediums actually. I thought it was just a set of soft tires. So Seeb has got it all to do now with that undercut from other cars really ruining his race right there. But it is Wouter once again in the lead, just ahead of Jamie here. So Phil has got work to do here if he wants to get it done. So if Wouter realistically wants to win this race, he's got to keep Jamie in the DRS, so Phil cannot get a move done here. But despite that, the soft tires are going to be very good for a while here.
Yeah, I think she was just being cautious there, going for mediums. I think that's probably the right call though, because they'll be good towards the end compared to Phil's, where they'll probably be close to like 50-60%, maybe more. I'm not too sure, but I think they made the right decision there. Now he's up into second because of Gurman putting it and overtaking Jamie there.
Yeah,
and
Jamie.
Sahilu trying to go around the outside of Nathan JB. Does it work? It does. What a move from the Alfa Romeo driver. Lovely, lovely job.
lovely stuff there. The second time Nathan's been overtaken around the outside of that corner there in this race. So Nathan not really taking as much risk, probably for the better, because the inside curve there is deadly there. So probably for the better there. Jamie also thought better of it just to go lift on the on the entry of turn 1 here, because Phil's got such a pace advantage compared to the rest of the field. Look at the traction he has, he's got more ERS, better tires. So Phil's still one of the favorites to win, and Siep has got a really tough task to catch up now. They were just so comfortable ahead, but that undercut from Jamie and Wouter and Nathan has really ruined his race there for the moment, and he doesn't have that much of an advantage now. Because look where Phil is, they were still like 9 tenths between each other, and now the gap is about 2.4 seconds, or like 1.6. It's gonna make it really difficult for him now to get a podium even, because they're on the DRS train of each other, so it's gonna be very difficult for Siep now to get a podium, despite having such a great qualifying and win here. Or a win? A great pole position, I meant.
Yeah, there's a bit of a battle happening for 11th and 12th now, as Boonpei overtakes AJ Wuhan and Ariel Tope, who I think I was teammates in the same, well, not teammates as such, but we were in the same car last season. Great guy, I do like him, cool. But unfortunately, outside the points now, drops the AlphaTauri driver. Obviously, the hard's not the better tyre to race with compared to the medium, but still close.
Look at the gap Phil's already created from Wout here, 1.7 seconds, and setting the fast lap with a 10.1 here. So Phil making the right strategy call there for himself and really pulling along now. Siep has overtaken Nathan here with a 2-lap fresher tires here. He's got to try to overtake Jamie here, who's got 4-lap older tires than Siep. That's gonna be very difficult here, as Siliu is often about to go side by side into towards Schijfvlak now, and he's got to move down. So Siliu from a P6 before the pit stop is now promoted towards P3 now. So very good race there from the Alfa Romeo driver. He hopefully can now follow Wouter now and try to overtake him, because I think Phil is a goner here on the soft tires, showing some really good pace there. And comfortable ahead now. The driver that we were gonna look out for was Kenny, and he has unfortunately hasn't gained at all there. Is stuck still in P8 there in the train, despite his undercut attempt on or overcut attempt there on Nathan and Wouter and Siliu, but that just hasn't worked out at all for him. So hopefully he can do something later on in the race, but it is going to be very difficult for him, as Siliu is now up to second place, now overtaking Wout here. So Alfa Romeo is driving a tremendous second stint there on those medium tires.
Yeah, good stint so far for Sihilu. But yeah, Kenny, really unfortunate, as you say. But he's a quick driver. You know, he's in Tier 1 for a reason. And hopefully we'll still get a good result out of this. But yeah, Jamie's still holding his own in P4. Obviously got the oldest tyres on the grid so far, but still holding his own in P4 at the moment, trying to defend from Sheeb, who is in the lead at one point with Phil. But I feel like Phil's pushing too hard. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't know, but I don't know. I think he's pushing a bit too hard. I don't know.
Well, he's just trying to get a gap for himself, and with the level he has, I don't think he's actually pushing too hard here. I think it's just the level he has, and being so confident on the tires here, because he's just bolted away from the rest of the guys, being so confident in his speed. As Siep now up to 4th place here, so he's making a comeback here, but he knows there was way more in that if you just picked the soft tires and followed Phil through there. And probably should have pitted earlier, so he can just put on the mediums earlier. The mediums can really stretch out for a long while here, so yeah, he's shot himself in the foot once again to get a victory here. Also nearly Pink Eye going side by side with Jamie now. Jamie really tasting the disadvantage of those older tires now, losing the DRS nearly to Seep now, and this a couple of cars behind like Nathan, Pink Eye, and Kenny and Gurman also catching up now. That's gonna just to overtake him now. Nathan's really want that has lost out during this race um, because he was in the nearly catching up in the DRS window of Phil and Seep, and now he's now into P7, losing the DRS train now towards Seep and Wout here. So he is want to kick himself. To be honest, for this race, as now Pink Eye and Nathan get past Jamie now, and same for Kenny with a lovely move down the inside. Bit of contact right there on the exit there. Bit of could be a report there afterwards, but Kenny really ambitious there with him overtake, just really committed there. But there could be a report
Now
afterwards.
he's under attack from Gurman. Gurman overtakes Jamie now, losing what was that 4 positions or 5 positions?
4 positions.
In the space of 4 positions in the space of 1 sector, really unlucky. But
yeah, go on.
Yeah.
I think Jamie could have damaged from that contact right there. There was quite forceful contact there from the McLaren. So I think Jamie's undercut attempt, it was nice, but it hasn't worked out at all.
Yeah, I think so. But valiant attempt from fellow commentator to fellow commentator.
Yeah, it was worth the attempt. I know Jamie can be very quick on the F1 game there, but just it got a bit unfortunate there that the older tires just it hasn't worked out at all to his effect here. As now Seep is trying to make a move past Siliu and Wouter here. Down the inside he goes of the Alfa Romeo now, and Wouter's also got past him now. Very close there between all the drivers as Jamie is indeed boxed now. So he has got some front wing damage, and that's gonna really set him back now quite a bit. Very unfortunate there for him, but yeah, the attempt of the undercut was really nice to see, but just new tires are just so much faster here. So yeah, as this race go really quickly, as we now on to lap 29 now, just 7 laps to go after this one, so it's going to be interesting to see how this race is going to end up and who's going to end up on the podium here. With Pink Eye now on the hard tires. Has got some good pace here. Seep has made this mistake. Oh. Seep has spun out of P4 here, and he's now definitely lost a shot of the podium here. So Seep just pushing a bit too hard there, going onto the grass on the exit there of turn, I think that's turn 12 right there. So unfortunate mistake there from Seep, who's must be kicking himself with the outcome of that race. Got pole position, was following Phil. He had the opportunity to win that race and just hasn't solidified a solid position there. And he's behind his teammate right now, who's close enough all the way to the back of Kenny right now. So good performance right there from Gurman, who's showing some good pace right there, some really consistent pace. And maybe in the fight for podium is going to be difficult here, but you never know with all the fighting that's going to take place with the remaining 7 laps.
Yeah, just really unfortunate for Sheep. But and now Jamie's pit again, or from wing again, but down in 14th now and out of the points. Really unfortunate for Indigo as Seeb is now retired.
And that's caused a safety car late on in the race, and that means everyone's gonna box, and it will be a full 5-lap shootout here. Seep, unfortunately, with the spin and has DNF'd. It was looking really good for the Ferrari driver. Just some slight mistakes, the small details has really cost him today. The undercuts has really ruined that race for him, and everyone going into the box now to put on a fresh set of tires right there. So this is gonna spice up the race even more as it is already here. With now everyone being in the DRS train of each other. Phil thought he had the race covered right there, but it is gonna be a exciting end to this Grand Prix here with C being the third retirement and AJ Wuhan picking up another 5-second penalty now. He got one for his first stop and picking up another 5 seconds here, so that is yeah, that has not really worked out for him at all here. But the good thing is he can box again to remove that 5-second penalty to get good points for Alfa Romeo in the Constructors' Championship, because we've got to beat Mercedes.
Oh yeah, that's true. Of course, we are in separate teams, and we are in the teams that are fighting. But as Jamie has stayed out on the mediums and overtook Kyle Scarrett, but I think run him back through because it was illegal. But yeah, I think what happened to Seed there is he just caught too much curb and spun on the exit, pushing too hard, maybe overheating tires, and really unlucky from Seed bringing out a safety car.
Yeah, I think just the way the race went down there at the end, just lost his, just got a bit frustrated and pushed too hard. So probably also could have gotten on the exit curb there and just spun out there. There could be saying many reasons there, but yeah, just hasn't worked out the way he wants to at all. There from the Ferrari driver. Of course, hopefully he can come back for next week, which is going to be the final round of the season around Bahrain here. The season has gone relatively quickly here for everyone here, to be honest. So hopefully Seep can bounce back for that final race there in Tier 1 still, because he can showcase a good result there. To be honest.
Yeah, I know Sheep. I know he can put on some really amazing performances. So, I mean, I'm hoping I can commentate next week if there is a space available, but we'll just see what happens. And yeah,
Yeah, who knows? Who knows what's gonna happen in terms of that? I just watched on World with Seed right there, and he was in third gear and just lost the back end, accelerated too quickly and spun into the wall there. So, for just frustration kicking in with the race, how the race panned out for him, and yeah, that's led to him retiring from the field here and causing the safety car now. But who's gonna win the sprint right here? Is Phil gonna use all of his ERS try to pull away at 1 second from Siliu? Or is he just gonna try to manage it and defend us for his life? Because Phil has not won a CRL race once still, so
yeah,
we're gonna find out now.
going.
Yeah, the safety car's coming in this lap now, so we're gonna find out how Phil is gonna play this safety car restart there. JB decided not to box here. AJ Wuhan did box, so he's got the fresh tires of everyone here. Not that's gonna really matter there for where, because everyone was being the safety car now. So let's see how this is gonna be played out by the Haas driver.
As he goes. Ooh, he's keeping
He's
it
going very slowly indeed. I think he's gonna wait until the start finish line, which he is allowed to. He's allowed to wait until the start finish line here, taking a very slow approach, warming up his tires just a slight bit, just taking his damn time. No one's allowed to go side by side. And actually, the Haas driver's gone right now. A decent restart there, but Siliu is awake there. Bowder isn't, surprisingly. He is not awake now, and that leaves him vulnerable to.
Oh!
Leaves him vulnerable now, as some cars are going side by side alongside with each other, including Pink Eye and Sweet Car with a lovely battle there. We're going side by side, but Pink Eye has completed the move right there. Full P3, but he's lost momentum now, using a bit of ERS to defend now against the Red Bull driver. But a lovely move there from the Aston Martin there. But look how close Siliu is to the back of Phil. Phil must be very tense right there, as Siliu is really pushing the back of him tremendously right there. And he has got a real shot to win this Grand Prix from P8 or P6 on the grid right there. So it's going to be interesting to see how he's going to play this one out there. He's still got 80% ERS here, and Phil's got about the same here. So I'm not sure who's going to try to take the lead here. Is Phil just going to let him go, or is he just going to wait? A bit of ERS used by Siliu right there, trying to get into the lead right there, but he's not doing it for the moment. He's still waiting. To try to overtake him, and Phil used a little bit of ERS right there, so Yeah, interesting to see how that's gonna be played out. Pink Eyes lost DRS to the cars ahead now. They've just got a little bit too much space there, as Bonepie and Taupe are once again in a battle with each other right there for a points position here, as Bonepie, using a bit of ERS, has lost all of his ERS pretty much already, so yeah, that's not really well managed by him. So just gonna quickly focus to the cars ahead now. Silius run a little bit wide there. Phil really just trying to hold on to his position for dear life right there, as we're now on the end of lap 34.
Yeah, I was screaming. Well, not screaming, but I was seeing something happening as Leo Aries and AJ Wuhan now fighting, and Leo Aries was a car involved in turn one. It was 3 wide going into turn one. I think it was Kenny Gurnman and
Still using
Leo.
the
Oh,
ERS right there, getting the fast lap and taking the lead there of Phil. Using not as much ERS, same as Phil here, but Phil not defending the inside has allowed Siliu to get into the lead now for on lap 35 right there. So Siliu is in a really good position to win the Grand Prix right now, using again a bit of ERS here. But what can Phil do? I think Siliu will defend for his life there, and it looks like Phil will lose another race win here, which he had covered pretty much with Seep before Seep crashing out there of the race. It's gonna be really difficult for him now to overtake him, because the gap is a half a second, and Siliu showed some really strong pace right there. Pinka seems also quite safe at the moment in P3 in the Aston Martin, so really well done by the CPI driver. It's got a lovely helmet as well, I must add right there. As now we're entering the third sector now, and entering the final lap of the Grand Prix. Silly using all of his ERS pretty much now. He's got 30% left. What will he do? ERS is enabled, and there goes Phil in the slipstream, going around the outside there. And what can Phil do? Will he break one later? No, it's Silu also breaking quite late. Drivers going side by side with each other, but it's still Silu in the lead right there. What a adventure drive there from Silu, and Phil has been squeezed out, but there's still one or two more opportunities right there to fulfill to overtake him. He does have a little bit more ERS left than Silu, so that could be bad news for the Alfa Romeo driver, but it looks at the same time very good for him to get another race win here. Spain guy also defended against Sweet Crown right there, who's also in a battle with Nathan at the moment for a P4 or P3 finish right there. But what an exciting end to the Grand Prix now, with Phil trying to get or have a as good as exit as possible to get back a little bit of a wobble right there, using a last bit of ERS right there, but there's just no way past him here around this part of the circuit there, braking as late as possible here. Well, I think Siliu has got the win covered here, to be honest here. There's only one place on the exit there. He must have the best exit there to win this Grand Prix, and he doesn't. So it looks like the Alfa Romeo of Siliu will win the Grand Prix here in the Netherlands. It's the Alfa Romeo of Siliu winning Grand Prix ahead of Phil, and Pink Eye keeping the podium ahead of Nathan, who's just jumped ahead of Wouter right about 8 thousandths here. So my goodness, my excitement there at the end could not be managed right there, with Siliu grabbing the race win here with a lovely overtake there. Not a dirty overtake at all. And my goodness, what a overtake that was.
yeah, very, very close towards the end there, as Sahilu even, sorry, grabs the race wing from Phil. Very unfortunate for Phil there, about a time separating him towards the line, but yeah, Phil would have won if the safety car hadn't come out, I reckon, but still very, very good podium. And Pink Eye rounding out top 3 as well. Very good result from him.
Yeah, the safety car really changed the win, race right there, to be honest. You got to feel bad for Phil right there, who had the race in his hands right there, being 4 seconds clear of the rest of the field, and just that safety car. By coincidentally, the driver who he was battling with the win before the pit stops, he yeah, lost the win by that. So another P2 there from Phil. Yeah, really interesting race to see. hopefully all of you enjoyed watching the stream. And I'm glad to have you had alongside me, Glowstick. Normally we would be racing alongside each other in tier 3, but now we're in the commentary box together, so that was really good to see there. So hopefully everyone has enjoyed the stream right there. Um, we'll be back next week for the final round of um, season 11 right there of Cone. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and yeah, that was me, Steven. I was here. Hopefully you enjoyed my commentary, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.